Welcome to Real Talk Hilton Head with David and Dale Cross, the real estate lifestyle podcast of Coastal Carolina.
Join us as we share stories from our community, insight into the local lifestyle, and the real scoop on real estate.
From market trends to home design, we dive deep into what it means to live and thrive here.
Discover the state of mind and philosophy of the Lowcountry that enriches life through personal growth, health and wellness, and human connection.
Whether you're a local or thinking of becoming one, we're here to guide you through the ins and outs of living this coastal escape.
Tune in, relax, and enjoy the conversation with Real Talk Hilton Head,
the podcast of Coastal Carolina.
This episode is brought to you by the David Dale team, powered by eXp Realty in Hilton Head.
Today on Real Talk Hilton Head, we're joined by someone who brings both beauty and harmony into the Lowcountry homes. Savannah Foster, known as Savannah Dawn Fine Art. She's a lead designer for Minto Homes at Latitude Margaritaville Hilton Head, and she's an incredibly gifted artist.
We've had the pleasure of working with Savannah firsthand, both from our clients and even in our own home. And what sets her apart is her rare ability to blend design and fine art into a seamless, soulful expression.
So whether she's helping new homeowners choose finishes like cabinetry and flooring, or she's painting serene oil landscapes of the May River to help match your home's color and energy, Savannah brings peace, personality, and purpose in every space she touches.
You're going to love the conversation we have about creativity and customization and what it really means to make a house feel like a home.
Enjoy the show. All right, well, welcome to the show, Savannah Foster.
We're so excited that you could join us today. We're really excited to share the amazing things that you do for your clients and have done for David and I personally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's dive in, because that's what everybody wants, right? You got to hook people, right off the bat. So
I want to know what you're going to talk about.
So we've discussed that your primary role right now is the designer for Minto Homes, which is here in Latitude Margaritaville Hilton Head. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about that process that you lead people through, because after they pick their model, they pick their lot, and then shortly after that, about 2 or 3 weeks, they get to come to you, to the design center.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens, right?
It is where the magic happens.
So they've already picked out their structural options, and then when they come to me, we get to pick out all the fun stuff. So cabinets, countertops, flooring, appliances, plumbing, we do trim, paint colors, all of that. So typically when people come to me, they've already committed, right? So It's easy for me. I don't have to really sell them on anything, but I get to help coordinate all of the finishes, so I can create a cohesive design palette for them where all the finishes work in harmony together.
Right. So, because, obviously we have a lot of clients. All of our clients, first of all, love you. Yeah. All of them.
Thank you.
And we always tell everybody, if you can get Savannah, get Savannah. Aww. No offense to anybody else.
Appreciate it.
One of the things that I see happening is most of these folks, it's an active adult community, 55 age restriction, 55 and over. They've lived somewhere for a long time, usually up north, so they've got the dark, the cherry, all the browns and, all that stuff. Yeah. Not that, there's anything wrong with that. But when they come here, they're looking for the, like a coastal feel and theme. So kind of let's walk through that process of, talking about what does that even mean? A coastal look and a coastal feel, coastal colors, all that stuff.
Yeah, most of the buyers typically are from, the Northeast, and they have the darker, cozy colors, like I like to call them, right? Yeah. The darker woods, the darker kind of rouge, rust colors, dark greens, that kind of thing. And when they come down here, they're typically downsizing, and they want to just feel lighter and brighter and have more of that coastal feel. So we see a lot of the time, lighter cabinets, the whites, the cream colors, and the blues, the light greens, that kind of thing. Colors that evoke the sea and the shore, but bringing those colors indoors is typically what I find most people like. I don't have a lot of folks who say, oh, I want really, really beachy, where they want sand dollars on the walls or anything like that, but they want to feel a sense of tranquility and peace when they walk in their home. And typically you can achieve those with like the lighter coastal colors, the seafoam greens, whites, beiges, that kind of thing.
You know, it's funny, because we've talked about, as you're preparing for this, you keep bringing peacefulness, tranquility. That is really a theme that runs through everything you do, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Everything has to work in harmony. That's really my signature style, I would say.
Yeah. I think that's actually, I talk about this with the boys all the time, you know, with especially, you know, if there's conflict, you know, and things like that. And I really feel like life is all about growth and learning how to be in balance and harmony. I feel like nature is screaming to us, be in harmony, you know, but you've grown up here. Do you find that is just part of who you are because of living in the area? Do you think the area fosters that in you? No pun intended.
Right, my last name. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up near the coast, like that, I've moved to major cities, New York, LA, and I've always found myself yearning to be back by the coast, by the water. It just evokes that sense of just peacefulness, right? Yeah. And going, you know, whether it be to the May River or even the beaches on Hilton Head, I mean, you can't really find anywhere that's that serene.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out for a bike ride yesterday in Hilton Head Plantation, and it's so funny, you know, I've biked that place for what now, 5 or 6 years now? Actually, what, 7?
Really? Yeah.
7 years. And I stopped by the Cypress Conservancy, and I was again, you know, gobsmacked at like how beautiful and peaceful, and I just had to stop and just take pictures and just sit in it. And you're right, it is. It's just so serene. Lets your soul rest. It's a beautiful place.
And that's the inspiration for your artwork and for your designs, right?
Absolutely, yes. You know, growing up here, I think I really took for granted how beautiful the area was, and I moved away for 10 years to like major cities, hustle and bustle, and coming back here, it has really made me appreciate just the landscape and the beauty that is the Lowcountry, and that is what my art evokes. Like, I just naturally gravitate towards wanting to do like landscapes, the Lowcountry marsh. This is a painting that I did, and this is another painting of mine too up here. So you can see I have a theme. I like marsh. I like Spartina grass. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to that. But I want to circle back to the process, though, for when let's walk through that process. So somebody who's out there who's actually considering moving here, who's looking at maybe Margaritaville, and they want to come in. Because they're nervous, like, you know, they've never purchased a new home or whatever. Walk them through what that process is like from the first design meeting all the way through with you.
Right. So prior to the design meeting, I send a lot of design collateral electronically to them, so they're able to prepare in advance. And I think that is the biggest thing I try to encourage folks to do. Read all the literature. You can look at the wish list, which is basically essentially an online portal where it has all of the pricing and everything, so you can get an idea of what you like, what you don't like, prior to even setting foot in the design center. So the nice part of the design center at Latitude Margaritaville, it's a one-stop shop. We're not going to, you know, tell you to go to the flooring vendor or the cabinet vendor. Like, it's all there. So.
And it's a beautiful design center.
Yeah, because I have never personally been in it. So, I mean, there are multiple, sorry to interrupt you, there's multiple choices.
Absolutely.
I mean, so if I'm looking at a cabinet, how many choices do I have for a cabinet?
Well, we have 5 different levels, right? Okay. So the higher the level, the more expensive. There's also different variations of styles, and within that style, there's typically 4 to 5 different colors. So there's like 100 different options for cabinets. Yeah, so it's not just like a cookie cutter. You get to choose, you know, A, B, or C. There's a lot of ways to make it custom without it being essentially a custom built home, right? So
And you've also got those guardrails of, okay, this will go well with this, and then your advice to seal it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the cabinets, the countertops, and the flooring are your big ticket items. So once you nail down the cabinet style and color, then your countertop, and then a backsplash if you choose to do one, in your flooring, that's really the meat and potatoes of the design, right? Yeah. And then we'll start pulling in tile, appliances, plumbing, cabinet hardware, paint, all that's the jewelry on top, right?
Yeah.
So when people come in, typically they're nervous. I'm like, don't worry about it. We're going to focus on three things.
They are nervous, aren't they?
They are. They're overwhelmed, nervous.
They're excited, but they're nervous because they're like, we don't really know what to do. I'm like, don't worry, I will help you, because I've already seen a lot of, the finishes installed. I've been going on almost 8 years working at Margaritaville.
So thousands of homes.
Yeah, thousands and thousands
Literally,
of homes.
yeah.
Literally.
So if someone picks out something, I can always suggest a tile. I've already seen it installed. I'll show them pictures of the install, that kind of thing. So that creates a sense of ease and comfort too. And also I do everything in an erasable pen. It's not permanent, right? So, and then we'll put all the finishes on a board, right?
Yep.
And see how everything looks together,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about making a move to the Lowcountry?
Whether you're searching for the perfect home, or you're exploring vibrant communities on the coast, or dreaming of a new lifestyle, we're here to help.
Contact the David Dale team today and let's make your dream a reality. So now you do this for Latitude, and we can come back if you have any more questions.
No,
but you also do this for yourself as well, or for
Yeah, let's
friends,
pivot
or
to that, because
family?
well, I want to circle back. So when you went off to, you said New York, California. What part of California were you like?
I was in Los Angeles.
So so the big markets, were you there for interior design?
Yes. So I went to school for interior design at an art school in New York City called Parsons New School for Design. It's known for interior design, fashion design, that kind of thing. So I went up there, yes, and I studied there. That's what brought me to New York City.
Got it.
I didn't want to be in the cold. So I have family out in Los Angeles, and I thought, okay, well, I'll become, a California girl.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience, but and I worked out there in architecture, luxury real estate, and design, and I got to see. Yeah, so I got to see that Beverly Hills market, West Hollywood, Sherman Oaks market. Very different, more modern design than you would see in the Lowcountry.
It is more modern, isn't it?
I love that design.
Dale's a California girl. She
man,
wants to bring every time we watch those shows, she's like wants to bring that here, because
we call it Southern. What is it? That we call
SoCal.
SoCal. Yes.
Like a SoCal feel.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Do you find that influenced you, though? Do you bring any of that? Do you draw from that, what you learned there and what you've seen there here? Does it fit some of those elements?
Well, it depends on the buyer, right? Because we have people coming from out west more and more now,
right.
California, Oregon, Nevada.
Yes, we do.
So it's good that I have experience with more of a modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because everyone is different, In the South, there's potentially more of a traditional aesthetic, but we're seeing more transitional design here, from people coming from other states. It's like they want a coastal feel, but it might not be a traditional coastal feel. Maybe it brings in more modern elements. So, it's I really like to design around timeless design and what is authentic to each individual person. It's not the same design across the board. I've never done the same design twice.
Wow.
Which is fun for me.
That's exciting.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
That's creative.
Especially for a creative person.
Absolutely.
You got to constantly be creative.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
What do you consider a traditional, if you said traditional coastal design, what does that mean?
Well, you would see more incorporation of maybe more antiques and more, of the darker woods, maybe the Queen Anne leg, that kind of thing. More of a traditional home that you might find in, say, Savannah, Georgia, or Charleston. But it's probably consistent with the architecture of that home. The Margaritaville home is more of like the Key West bungalow.
Yeah.
Fun in the sun. Let's evoke the feelings of we're on perpetual vacation,
right.
escapism, and fun in the sun. So
Gosh, you
it's
really
a little bit
describe it
different.
well.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a different vibe than if you were going to, go restore a historic home in, Charleston or Savannah or something like that. Then you want to be mindful of, leaning into what that period of the house is.
Wow.
That's great. So let's pivot to this part of you, though, because obviously we've just talked about the Minto aspect, kind of what you do as, as the core. But you have this whole other thing. It's Savannah Dawn.
Yes.
Fine art.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. So you do interior design outside of it as well, and then you incorporate fine art. So let's kind of unpack that a little bit and talk to us about what that is and what you do.
Wonderful. Yeah. So my love, other than interior design, is oil painting. So this is
Beautiful.
a print of an actual commission that I did for a couple who moved from Maryland. They wanted, a local artist. They reached out to me. I helped them with their interior design of their house, and they were like, "Hey, do you know where we can find any, local art?" And I said, "Well, actually, I did. I had a painting that I had done like 2 days prior." I said, "Well, I did this." And then they're like, "Will you paint something for me?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, okay." So this painting was actually a lot larger. It was about 4 feet high, 3 by 4 feet. So this is this is essentially a print of the painting.
How do they do a print? How does that even work? Like,
so what you would do is take the actual painting, which I did, to the Great Frame Up. They're great and located in Bluffton, South Carolina. And they scan the artwork, and then they can print it on fine art paper, which is this, or they can screen print it on a canvas, which is called a G-clay. Okay, where it's like a gallery wrap.
Wow.
Okay. I really like the prints, though, on the fine art paper. I feel like it really... you can see the texture and the detail of the painting better. But this is, I made a print for myself, so this is hanging in my house. But the real original is at my clients, Lisa and Andre. And what I did was I wanted the piece to fit in a specific location that they had in their dining room.
So you go that fine of a detail, like, what's the space I'm filling?
Oh, yes.
And what else? Because I really want to break this down. So you're coming in and they're saying, "Hey, I need this. I need something here." So you're looking at the rest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I had helped them with all of their interior finishes. So, for example, this cabinet is an off-white color, which is a colada color, right? And their countertop is Cambria quartz called Prostance, and it has this lovely, kind of taupe and teal detail. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this countertop was in their kitchen, and their flooring, which is almost like a sandy color, right? So it was important that I incorporated these finishes into when I was painting.
Yeah.
And this was the specific, this is actually the paint sample, which was a Benjamin Moore color called Aegean Teal.
Okay.
So
that was your wall color?
On the opposite wall. So they already knew that they wanted to incorporate this color on the opposite wall where they had a hutch there. Okay. So this was a buyer that was bringing some furniture from back home from Maryland, and they were buying some new. So it's like, okay, how can we make this space cohesive, right? And the piece of art that I painted for them, how does that tie into all of this? So it's important. So when someone, invites me into their space and, for a painting consult or a fine art consult, I go in and I look around at everything, and I get samples also of their cabinets, their countertops, their flooring, any sort of paint swatches that they're thinking about painting, say adjacent walls, that kind of thing. So I can get a good idea of, okay, what is stable in this home, and how can I incorporate these colors into the painting. So yeah, it was a really cool process. This was an oil painting, and I typically paint in oil on canvas, and it's just really important that I look at all the pieces in the space.
Yeah.
And that also could include textiles or upholstery, or say somebody has a favorite rug or something. It's like, hey, I really want to make this a focal point in the room in addition to the art, but I want it all to blend. And so that's what sets me apart from, I would say, any other interior designer or oil painter for that matter. My interior design background and my attention to detail specifically, so that it's to scale, because this homeowner originally wanted something more linear, and I went to this space. I'm like, these ceilings are so high.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we make it more of a vertical painting? And it really just fit fabulously on the wall that way.
Wow. I wish we could have a picture
Yeah.
to
Do you have a
overlay.
picture
Would they ever
of-
let you?
I do have a picture.
Okay.
I would
we can send that
because
to us.
if you're watching, if you're listening to this, we have a YouTube channel. It's at Real Talk HHI on YouTube. We'll put an overlay on it because I think that would be great to show that, to see, because you're right. I mean, that is, most artists are probably artists, and most interior designers are probably just designers.
Yes.
It's very rare to meet somebody that kind of combines the two elements.
And to your point, the detail that you go to. I mean, you're looking at the countertops, the cabinets, the flooring, and then coming up with the picture.
Yes.
You know, so just to dive a little bit deeper, did they specifically ask you for the marsh scene, or did they just say, I need something low country, and you came up with it?
Yeah, they gave me the creative license. They sent me a couple of photos that they liked, and they're like, this is kind of what we're thinking.
Okay.
But you have full creative license to do what you want. And that was wonderful because it gave me the flexibility, right? This is a specific scene from Bluffton and May River and the marshes. It's just beautiful there.
I feel like I probably boated right past here, or something.
Yeah. This one too is also
Those sunsets, that's exactly what it looks like.
So is this an actual original print right there?
This
oil?
is an original oil painting right
So
there.
that's
see the oil.
so that's the difference. So it's
And this is also original oil.
Wow.
This is a smaller one. This is in Beaufort,
That's
South Carolina. Yeah.
Are you thinking of selling your home?
With our exclusive Elevate package, we combine over 50 years of experience, cutting-edge data analytics, our unique marketing strategies, and our extensive network to help your home rise above the rest.
While maximizing your sales price and minimizing the time on the market.
So contact the David Dale team today to learn more. So do you do you take a photograph in your mind, or do you how do you capture the scene to know what you're painting? Is it just inspiration coming from within you?
Oh no, you do plein air. So you go out to the site and then you start the painting there. Now, for example, this one, the lighting always changes, with the sky. So I take photos too. So if I have to go back to the studio and add the details in, that's typically my process.
Wow.
So it's always best to go on site and paint.
How long does it take you to paint something like that?
Well,
is that difficult?
This one took months. Because
Wow.
it took months. I mean, there were times where I got frustrated with it, but I think every artist can probably relate to that internal tug of war a little bit with it, because you have to know when to stop, because oil paint takes forever to dry. So you have to, so
that's the blending with the oil. Do you blend with oil?
Oh yeah. So you use liquid or mineral spirits. Right.
Wow.
So in addition to oil paint, yes.
Months.
So you don't use water with
That's
this.
patience, months.
This one was months. Yeah, because it was so big. I mean, this is just a smaller version of it. I mean, it's humongous. I'll send you the photo of it. So it was very big. This one took me maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
But
that's why you
that
need
took
that
you
picture.
2 weeks.
That took me 2
That's
weeks.
crazy. Come on, man.
Yeah, and so you block it out with ultramarine blue. So you start with one color.
Okay.
Is that how it works?
Yes, so you start
Sort
with,
of layer it on top of each other.
well, you take ultramarine blue and then you add white to it. So you make 4 different shades, right, from darkest to light. Okay. So you're able to block out the shadows first and then the highlights. Okay, so you do that first because it helps you, or it helps me figure out, okay, what are my darkest darks and my lightest lights? And then you go back over with the paint, with the actual color that, is consistent with reality.
Wow, that is fascinating.
And it's so amazing how we all designed so differently.
Right.
Like for me, my head is spinning. I'm like,
I'm going to stick to contracts and negotiations.
I'll do systems, processes, and efficiencies, not artwork.
Right.
I just cannot.
So do you
it.
find, are you drawing also inspiration from all the different types of people too that you're working with? I mean, do you,
Absolutely. I mean, as far as if they want,
I'm just curious how it affects you. Like, do you ever, if somebody say something or give you an idea and you're like, oh, I never thought of that, and it helps you grow in your artistry, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, I meet so many different people from so many different places that, of course,
with their, because you meet somebody from, say, Michigan, which in and of itself is so beautiful, right? In the summer especially, it's just gorgeous.
Yes.
But they have it's very different though, right? Than, say, California, much more deserty,
Absolutely.
Dry and all that. So you got all these people drawing from, because all these places are equally beautiful to themselves, right?
Absolutely. And I'll have folks from, say, from their hometown, they'll come and move down here and they're like, hey, we really want a little piece of back home. Can you paint this for us? Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And so they'll share a photo with me of, say, Long Island or what have you, and be like, I really want this on my wall. And so I'll go off of a photo for that.
So you're
matter.
able to do that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah.
So for the who are you typically working with? Is it mainly people that you're meeting through Mento and that process, or are you getting clients from all over the country? I mean, how does that work? How are you connecting with people, I guess?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Recently, I was in a show in Savannah at the Cedar House Gallery where one of my paintings was exhibited there. So I got some recognition that way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So one of those, let me see if I have one of the paintings here. This is a print. This is a print of that painting.
Well, can you show it to this camera, Asher? Put that up. Okay, wow. So that was featured in this show of the gallery?
The show, yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So I was one of the artists featured.
Can we just get a picture? I need me to overlay it.
Yeah, we can overlay it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a picture of it too.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
great.
Well,
Yeah,
all
I
these,
can
but
send
I mean,
it.
obviously they can still see it, but we'll also,
That's what I'm saying, just a bigger picture.
a bigger
Yeah.
one. We'll put up an overlay.
So
Wow, that is great. Did it sell? Was it just to feature, or were these for sale?
they were for sale.
Okay.
This one I priced it high because I didn't want to sell it actually.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I had some people who wanted to, who were interested. But
Wow.
but then I was also featured just about a month and a half ago at a festival in Charleston. So I'm getting my name out there.
Yeah.
So Monday through Friday I do interior design for Mento as their design coordinator, and then on my outside or my free time, that's when I have the ability to paint and do all of my other stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
So that's
Andrew, are you ready for this? I love it. For you, Andrew is her fiance. He's in studio with us. You can't see him, but this is great though. So your house, you're gonna have the best house though. It's gonna be dead.
I know, he's such a trooper. I'll be like, hey, I want to change this. He's like, okay.
That's awesome.
You are. Thank you.
Interior design and you.
I know, exactly.
We have another friend whose wife is in interior design, and often he would come and say, we're changing the kitchen this weekend, or we're changing the furniture. She found a piece, now everything's different.
Exactly. And I think that's important too, with people coming down and wanting to do, me to help them with their interior design or create a painting.
Yeah.
If they can bring down some sort of inspiration piece, whether it be a picture in a magazine or whether it be, a fabric or a pattern or something like that, that's always helpful too.
To get started.
Yeah.
Well, let's just kind of digress a little bit and talk about some trends. What are we looking at as far as color schemes for 2025?
Because for the longest time it was all gray.
And then it's gone white, and then are we still in that palette, or what are...
Yeah, we're not seeing so much of the gray.
so that's kind of
that's died out. I mean, I think more of the warmer colors are coming into trend. We're seeing still white or colada, cream cabinets. Those are still like very coastal, and I don't think those will ever go out of style in this area.
Got it.
But instead of more gray floors, we're seeing a lot more floors that have more of say a tan or like a sandy undertone. Absolutely, right here.
I've noticed that.
Yeah,
as we're out showing houses, I have noticed that there's more of that going on.
More of that. And also a very hot color for cabinets it's like a burlap color, which is almost kind of like a light oak color. And so we'll see that like maybe as an island color, or even whole kitchens. We're seeing those too. But
what
still,
about blue? I've seen a lot
I've
of
seen a lot of
darker
houses with
blue
blue.
cabinets. Like, have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think that was very popular, at least at Minto, about a year ago, where people wanted navy islands.
Yes.
Okay.
I still feel like navy is a very coastal color. I really regard it as a neutral, because you can really pair navy with anything. You can pair it with white, you can pair it with brown, it's such a nautical color, it's such a fresh, so I think navy is always going to be in season here, as far as, and white too, but we're seeing, I think, more of just, I would say, a warmer palette overall.
Yeah.
Still lighter countertops though. Quartz countertops are
quartz
still.
still king?
Quartz is still
Quartz is
not
still.
granite.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
phased
granite?
out. Yeah.
Well, granite can be very beautiful. I mean, if you go to some of, the slab yards, and you'll see, like at AGM, for example, some granites that are just absolutely stunning. Now, there's more maintenance with granite. You have to seal it, right? Because it's a porous product.
Yeah.
I find that most people are going with quartz because they can get the brighter whites, versus going, say, with a marble, which is also porous, which can etch and stain easily with, say, red wine or lemon juice.
That marble is really difficult on that aspect, but it's probably the most expensive, isn't it?
It is. I mean, a home to marble is absolutely gorgeous, but if you want something that's maintenance free, easy to clean, and very durable, I'm seeing quartz pretty much across the board now, because just of its versatility in that way, and also the designs that they've come up with, a lot look like marble.
Yeah.
Or quartzite or things like that.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing, because that's a man-made product, isn't it?
It is considered a man-made product, but the caveat is 93% of quartz countertops are made out of the clear white quartz that's quarried from a quartz quarry.
Yeah.
Now, the 7%, that's like a binder and a pigment, that's why it's considered a man-made product.
Oh.
So the majority of the
that.
product is actually from quartz stone.
Okay.
But the binder and the pigment in it is what constitutes as man-made. That's also the reason why you don't want to put a really hot pot down on it. You don't want to, essentially like scorch it or, burn it or anything like that. But honestly, most people will use just a trivet or something like that. But
so is quartz? Do they grind that up and then and put that? So that's what they do. So they actually use it, but grind it up, and then they can make it. That's why you get all these different patterns and things like that.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's more, I would say, control over the color and the consistency of the countertop versus, say, going for, a natural stone like a quartzite or a granite, for that matter, because it's a natural product. It's from Mother Earth. So you can have, say, a rust deposit here or some imperfection. That's really not an imperfection. It's a beauty mark, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I love that beauty mark.
And my face is a beauty mark.
We love that beauty mark.
Right, Andrew? This should be just a podcast. We had to go video, though.
Well, that's really interesting. What about flooring? Because I know here we do a lot of LVP or hardwood floors throughout our homes, but in Florida there's tile. And sometimes we have clients coming up from Florida looking for tile, and you don't really find that throughout the house, obviously in some rooms. So can you talk to that? Like, has that trend changed, or are we still
Is
in line with that?
LVP, is that pretty much what everybody's going with?
Yeah.
I would say it's a little bit of a mix. So, yes, typically in Florida market, you'll have tile throughout.
Yeah.
Here, not so much. If people do go with tile, it's a tile that looks like a wood plank.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right?
we've seen those.
Yeah. So that's popular in the sense that there's no transition strips throughout the house, right? So you can just have one flooring throughout. The downside of that is that there's a lot of grout, and it's hard on your feet, hard on your joints too.
Yeah.
So typically, I find that most of my buyers like to go with it's a product by Mohawk. It's called RevWood.
Yes.
So it's a laminate that's water resistant, fade resistant, scratch resistant, similar to LVP, but it's a little bit of a different product because it's not made out of vinyl. But like for example, this is a RevWood product. Okay.
So that's not vinyl right there.
No, this is called RevWood. So
Okay.
it's a laminate product that's, I would say, more durable than LVP, because LVP sometimes, depends on the manufacturer, can have a history of denting. This is very, very durable and strong.
You remember our floor that we put in that you helped us design in our house? Yeah,
Yeah.
we got some dents.
Did you?
We have
Yeah,
two
but-
boys
but-
and two dogs.
well,
That's
we're-
why.
Yeah, we're the,
They managed
we're
to
the
do it.
house where all the kids are running in and out, the dogs and everything. Yeah, our floor,
They would.
I know,
it's
but
going to need to be replaced.
Well, it wasn't
soon.
but the
as bad
floor-
as it could have been.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it could have been.
the floor before y'all with the carpet and the tile.
And the tile, that
No,
was
the
amazing.
What was that all
LVP.
about?
The LVP was a total facelift.
I mean,
It
come
was
on.
phenomenal.
But that tile was actually a nice tile.
I know, we felt
I mean, in
bad
the sense of,
covering
I thought it
but-
was a decent tile, but I felt bad putting just, was
I didn't feel bad at all. No, it was like, it was so beautiful. It was like, all one material on the
Exactly.
ground
Yes.
floor. Yeah.
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
So anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Well, no, thank you for just bringing us up to those trends, because we have people asking us all the time in this real estate world, especially the tile thing with Florida. And that's because of the temperature of the homes. Is that why they do it in Florida? Is just to keep it cool?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so hot in Florida, and
Yeah.
so tile sometimes makes more sense. And you'll see a lot more of the glossy tiles throughout,
Yes.
like a lot more, of a modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
In the Lowcountry, you still will see engineered hardwood. You're not going to have solid hardwood like
gonna
you
say-
would up north.
Yeah.
That's the next thing, is the Northerners have the real hardwood, and then they're coming down to our hybrid.
Yeah, yeah, and so the reason why it's an engineered hardwood and it's just the veneer on top that is the actual wood is because with the humidity here, the core underneath has to be able to breathe, so expand and contract with all of the heat, and humidity variances. So that's why it's called engineered hardwood, and not solid hardwood. But there's some beautiful, beautiful species of engineered hardwood.
Wow.
Yeah.
The oaks, walnut. I mean, they're beautiful, but they're definitely a lot more maintenance. Typically, they're going to be more expensive too.
Yeah.
But I still really like that look too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
more of a
warm.
reclaimed.
It's
Yeah, more
warm.
and more of a reclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The laminate or the LVP product is great if, say, you have a pool outside.
Right.
If you're going to have moisture, if you're going to have dogs and kids, and you need something that's really going to, hold up, then I would say going with more of a manufactured product for flooring. But if you're, meticulous about taking care of your hardwood floors and
You're an empty nester.
empty nester,
Yeah,
Your kids and the dogs.
You
Yeah.
want that nice, beautiful
Well-
last home. They always tell you it's the last
yes,
home.
last home.
Yes,
Especially here.
then, yeah.
So I want to kind of pivot back. So when somebody wants to commission you, what's that process like to go through with them, and how does that work?
Great question. So they can go to my website, savannahdawn.com, and they can, fill out a little information form, or they can email me at info@savannahdawnfineart.com, and we can discuss, what they're looking for, what their space looks like. They can send me photos of their existing furniture. We can set up a time where I can go do like an in-home site visit, and we can talk about, the scale, the pricing, that kind of thing. So really, I think the initial phone call would be best, and then we can kind of set up another time where I can actually go to the home and visit, and we can discuss, colors and finishes and all of that stuff, and how we can tie in the painting into their existing or their future furniture if they're thinking about, you know, bringing in some new components, or if they are working with an existing designer but they want a custom piece of art. I'll be happy to talk with them too and be able to be.
So you collaborate?
So you collaborate with other designers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can collaborate. Absolutely. Yeah. Or real estate agents if they have a client if they're staging a home, or if they're, you know, wanting
There's only
something.
one real estate agent here. Right? One real estate team.
No, y'all are the
Savannah. I'm just kidding.
Well,
There's only one.
Hint.
The Dale team.
I gotta plug it. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
You guys are awesome.
Oh.
No, you do. Yeah.
So, but now, do you help though with? Are you mainly focused on the art, or can you help if they said to you, "Hey, Savannah, I'm coming. I want to build a house. I've got nothing. I want to start fresh. I'm getting rid of everything. I'm coming there. I need you to help me with everything, like from the ground up floors, cabinets, countertops, everything, furniture, pillows. Can you do all that, or are you focused on art?"
I can.
Okay.
It depends on, you know, my timing and my commitments. But yes, of course, if somebody, you know, wants a full house, and I've done that too.
Okay.
Or perhaps they just, you know, have a couple rooms that they want to design and they need help with that too.
Okay.
So, you know, I customize it for everybody. Okay. But I would say, like, on my free time when I'm not at Minto, I'm painting, and that's really what I'm
passion.
That's really my passion. I love interior design. I love design in general. Sure. But yes, I can do interior design outside of my 9-to-5 job, in addition to, you know, sourcing.
But that's just good to know, because I'm sure there's going to be people out there all over the board, right? And the idea of a custom piece, I'm sure, appeals to some. And then I've had clients that are literally like, where I just need help because, you know, I don't even know what to do or where to start. It's usually guys.
Yes. It's a single man.
It's a single guy.
It's a single guy.
Like, I'm helpless. You know, please, you know, help me with this. But
I can help them. Absolutely. Okay. They typically want to go with just brown, and I'm like, no.
no.
It's safe. It's neutral.
It's safe. I know. So I love. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I do love looking at your artwork. One of your things is that you're about peace and non-chaotic, and that really, really comes through. And, you know, I know that's super important to people as they're building their homes and they're coming in. I mean, that's your refuge. So I think you found a great place.
Well, I think we should dive into that because, you know, when you were talking, that kept coming through the theme. Anytime we communicate, it's just non-chaotic, peaceful.
The world's chaotic enough.
Well, but don't you find you've grown up here, right? Like, were you born here on Hilton Head?
I was actually born in Scotland.
Oh,
but I grew up.
Pretty much. This is where you.
This is home.
Your childhood.
This is home. I was there just when I was a baby. Okay. But yes, I grew up here. I went to school here.
Okay, Hilton Head Plantation.
Yeah, we grew up in Hilton Plantation. Yeah.
One of the, to me, Hilton Head Plantation. I still can't believe it's like, how does everybody not want to be there? Because it's just an incredible community.
It's really, really nice. Yeah, yes. I like all thing there too.
But I want to talk about that for people because they're looking all over the place. You know, they're searching. And I want to talk about that whole aspect because I believe there's something healing about the area. Would you say it's almost spiritual in a way, but would you talk about that from your perspective?
Absolutely. People gravitate towards the Lowcountry for a reason. You know, they want to get out of the hustle and the bustle. You know, I have a lot of clients coming from bigger cities too, and they just want some respite, right? And you can definitely find that in Hilton Head and in Bluffton. Yeah. And living near the water too, I think also cultivates that sense of just peace and serenity. And I really yearn for that. I really missed that when I lived other places. And I kept on feeling like this calling to come back to the area. And when I got the job opportunity, I jumped at it. And I remember, especially when I was living in Los Angeles, something that I really missed when I lived out there were clouds. Like, there's no clouds hardly. And here, since the humidity, I mean, the billowing just clouds. Those were so ephemeral and beautiful. And like
see
this
it
one
in
too.
your art,
Here,
yeah.
yeah.
That is
And the
such a picture of it.
Yeah, and the sunsets here, and just being able to go out on on a boat ride out of Shelter Cove or at the Salty Dog and have like a sunset cruise with the dolphins.
Yeah.
This is something that is very special and that you will not find in any other place in the world, to be able to come here and be able to witness just the wildlife and the beauty of it all. And yeah, I think that's what I try to, convey in my paintings. It's really important, I think, for people's homes to be, like you said, their refuge and a place where they feel at ease and peaceful, and that they can come home and relax after a long day and be able to just take a breath. And the outside world and working and all of the commitments that we have, I think it's really nice to be able just to have a space that you love. And hopefully a custom painting will help you enjoy that space, or just having like a clean, organized space, a well-designed space, I feel like, it really helps people's headspace, when they have a space that feels comfortable and to them.
Well, and the reason why I wanted to bring that up, because I also believe there's a real energy, because the energy is coming from your heart. It's coming from your soul onto that canvas, and it translates, and then that stays there. So it's like it's this perpetual, you're giving back, from what you've received from it too, and now somebody else can come and they can receive that over and over every single day, as long as that painting's sitting there, And there's something powerful you said about water too, because it dawned on me too, like life is about waves, right? Tide comes in, tide comes out. It is such a picture of what really life is, and even though it is peaceful and tranquil, the tide is strong. The ocean is powerful, but it's that's the one thing that hit us. Remember, we would come and we're like, you go to the beach every day when we first got here, but you never realized the beach is never the same.
Every single day it's different. Every day it's different.
The ocean's always changing.
So you live in that environment and you go constantly. I mean, even the marshes change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because of that tidal water.
We never even realized they changed color.
No, yeah.
Like, in the Ohio, the leaves fall, they turn brown, they turn all the colors. Here, the marsh, you can tell what season you're in because the marsh is telling you.
Absolutely.
Right now it's nice and green.
Yes, like this verdant green color. But yeah, when the fall comes, it becomes more of a barley color.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
And the life that lives in the marsh, because obviously the Lowcountry, and we've said this in previous podcasts, has the most marshland in the whole country. So that in itself is giving a vibration of harmony and tranquility. I mean, there's so much life that's happening in it.
Absolutely. And it's a filtration system too, the Spartina grass. That's what it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we have some of the healthiest and cleanest waters because of these barrier Spartina marshes.
I didn't know that. Okay, elaborate.
Yeah,
this is great. I had no idea that.
Yeah, and the pluff mud and the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
The May River has brackish water.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks are like, oh, there are alligators in there. I'm like, no, that's not really where they live. They want more fresh water, right?
Yeah. Right.
But the wonderful wildlife, especially I love the dolphins that are in the area too.
We always laugh
or
about
the birds.
Do you capture the birds and the dolphins in your pictures if someone wants them?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do whatever
Yeah.
anybody wants. Yeah, if somebody has a specific love for something or a scene that they've taken a photo of, or if they just have something in their mind that they want, me to kind of draft out and sketch out for them, then we can work together and try to have their dream painting come to life. And so it's an iterative process, and so I'm really easy and laid back. Tell me what you want and we'll try to work together to create it.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like being creative too. I mean, I'm not like that, but there's something about that. I feel like it's a God thing. Like we're born to express.
Absolutely.
We're born to. It's got to come out, and something's got to. I think it's wonderful that you have that. That's a beautiful talent and gift to have right there.
Absolutely.
When did you first realize this was a thing for you? Was it like in elementary school in the art class or something, or did it come later?
When I was little, yeah, my mom always knew that I was an artist. She would
Really?
just give me crayons and I would go entertain myself.
Oh, wow.
I think when I drew a picture of my cat, my mom was like, oh, wow. Yeah. So art was always my favorite subject. I always, just loved to be creative. I would say that a couple years ago was when I really got into oil painting. I took an oil painting class and I was like, oh, wow, I'm actually really good at this. I took an oil painting class in college.
Just a couple years ago? And
that's
you're
when I
painting
started.
this?
Yeah, that's when I started doing. I mean, I took some classes in college, but then I got more into just the interior design side and didn't kind of put painting and drawing on the back burner. But what Andrew and I like to go do is we bring our sketchbook and our paint markers, and so wherever we go,
He's an artist too?
he's an artist too.
Oh,
wow.
Well,
Yeah.
why didn't we have him in here? No. That's great. Wow.
Yeah. So we'll go, like, for example, we went to the Concours d'Elegance this past year. We brought our sketchbook and we drew like the classic cars, and that was really fun. So they're oil-based paint markers, so you can just sketch on the
Sketch
go.
up there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We recently went to South Africa too.
Oh, no,
yeah, in
you
February.
did?
Yeah. And we got to draw a little bit there. We went on a mission trip there though.
Yeah.
And so that was very impactful. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, art really is a manifestation of, a higher power. There's I mean, it's not my gift.
Yeah.
It was given to me,
Yeah.
to be able to express like the majesty of like our surroundings, And if I can, capture a little bit of that, then,
That's what
I'm
you
happy
hit it on
about
the head,
that.
because there's those
Yeah.
moments when I see something and I know if I don't take my phone, that happened to me yesterday with the bike ride. I was like, if I don't capture this now, right? Because it's going to change tomorrow, or it's going to change in 10 seconds.
Yes.
Because this is just it, to be able to grab it and hold it and keep it up there in perpetuity is amazing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about where's your go-to place for a sunset around here? If you had one, if I said, hey, let's go look at this perfect night for a sunset, where would you go?
My mom's dock
Really?
on the May River.
On the May River.
Yeah, down there by Myrtle Island, That would be, that's in Bluffton. Now, you go to the boathouse right outside Skull Creek. That's a great place to see the sunset. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
I go down there. You know where the old Fort Pub was?
Used to be, yeah.
Yeah, so they built the Charles there. Mm-hmm. Right down there's a little bike path. Mm-hmm. And there's a bench there. You know that bench?
I go down there a lot.
I love sitting there. I'm actually going to put pictures up from just the other day. I mean, that's my favorite spot. I just go there. Every now and then, though, the peace gets disrupted from the Skull Creek Boathouse music.
Having a party.
Like, I'm just peaceful, and then you hear this. Like,
Yeah.
it's all right. I get it. So what other places do you love to go to? Like, what's your where do you like to go and hang out and go for walks and trails, parks? What do you like to do?
Well, downtown Bluffton, like Old Town, is always a go-to. Love going to the restaurant The Pearl, walking around, Wright Family Park, that area across from Church of the Cross, and doing our walks and going down to Old Oyster Factory where they have the shrimp boats. That's always a go-to for us. At nighttime after work, if we want to go walk around. It's also a great place for inspiration for art too.
Is it?
I mean, just the views of like the May River and all of the marsh and everything, and the sunsets. It's really spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Hilton Head Plantation. Dolphin Head is near and dear to me. The private beach there, I love.
Have you seen what we've done up there?
Yes.
The isn't it?
Yes, it's really
You guys should get married
gorgeous.
up there. That's a good little. No. Where are you guys getting married at?
We want to get married down near the river.
Okay, of course.
At the park, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where he asked me to marry him. So,
Oh.
yeah, and our first date was there too.
Oh, then you
So,
have to get married
Yeah,
there.
we want to get married.
That is very exciting.
Yeah,
awesome.
Savannah,
definitely.
thank you so much. I mean, you just are such a talented artist.
Thank
And
you.
I know from experience that interior design, you really helped us a lot in our home. So,
Now-
and a bunch of our clients.
Yeah, and you're able because we get people watching the show from all over the
all
place.
over.
So just to reiterate, if somebody finds us and they find it inspirational, would you be able to work with anybody from anywhere, even if they're not here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we could definitely do a Zoom call.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can discuss, what they're looking for and,
Yeah.
and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, that's great, because if they're somewhere else, it doesn't have to be Lowcountry only. I'm not sure why anybody else would want to paint anything on Lowcountry. I'm just kidding. I'm a little biased. But we really appreciate you coming on and joining us today. And listen, if you guys want to get a hold of Savannah, we're going to put her contact information on the screen. Please reach out to her if you have any questions. But we just appreciate you guys watching and listening.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep,
We appreciate
absolutely.
your support.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
It's our pleasure.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe to Real Talk Hilton Head and leave us a review to help others discover the Lowcountry lifestyle.